Welcome back to the show. It's Road Dogg and Cassio, and you're listening to a... No, I was going to let you go and then finish. Go.
My bad.
Go.
Oh, you didn't know? I wonder what that looked like.
YTX, baby.
Yeah.
YouTube exclusive. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We are live, all the way live on the Monday after the Royal Rumble. Road Dogg.
Cassio has been drinking since noon and had Taco Bell for the last 7 meals. So just bear with us, guys.
One of those is true. You can decide by the end of the show. We're at the Alamo Dome. First of all, I mean, look, I don't know how much we want to break down on this. I thought the production level of this premium live event.
Thank you, sir. It starts here.
Was absolutely top notch. It looked tremendous.
Look, you're never going to, from the production side of things and logistics and all that, you're never going to get an argument from me, because I don't think you're ever going to get anybody that does it any better than WWE. And you can, right, wrong, or indifferent, like who you like and love who you love. But I'm just telling you, ain't nobody above the WWE when it comes to production value. Look, I thought it was aesthetically pleasing, like the ramp,
yes.
how the entranceway, when the ramp, it was all level, but how the entranceway came and kind of dog-legged in to the left, and then you kind of, like, the one that amazes me still to this moment was Nikki Cross's entrance in the Women's Royal Rumble, and she ran full speed the entire time, and then got in the ring and ran a few spots with a few different people. Like, it was incredible to me, not only her endurance, but how fast she ran down that long runway. Yeah, I thought it looked awesome. There's some pictures online. I forgot the wrestling something at USA Today. Wrestling, dang, I just read it too. I just looked at it. Wrestling Junkie. How'd I forget that one? Wrestling Junkie at USA has got some pictures, and they are, I'm sure WWE has pictures up too, but I just wanted to credit where I saw the pictures at just now. Man, beautiful.
Looked like a big-time sporting event. It reminded me of the old boxing matches back in the day where all your friends were over.
Yeah,
or the early, it was incredible.
50,000 members of the WWE Universe filled that place wonderfully. Yeah, what a show. Look, what a show in my mind from start to finish. I thought the flow of the show went well. I thought the order of matches was chosen specifically for reasons, and I agreed with all the reasons. Like, you can get into cutting it up if you want to and talk about and debate, likes or dislikes, but I think top to bottom that show was a huge success. Well, I also know it was a huge success.
Well, they announced today, of course, WWE, a 52% increase in viewership versus the previous record over 2022. That's incredible.
Why a 52% increase?
Incredible.
I mean, that's incredible. It is incredible. And if you go back one more year, it was I forget what the 100 and something.
Incredible.
Incredible. Yeah. So look, from a business standpoint, from a creative standpoint, from a fan standpoint, because that's exactly how I watched it. I was not in San Antonio because they won't let me go anywhere near the Alamo. Myself and Ozzy are not allowed near the Alamo anymore. and so I watched it at home, every bit of it, sitting in my recliner, and I popped, and I was sad, and I laughed, and I loved it, man. I loved it. And of course, they're going to say that, oh, you work for them, and blah, blah, blah. You're right, I do. But I also know what I like, and I liked it. So let's interact with some people, Cass.
Yeah, we're going to get to as many of the matches, just kind of touch on them as we can. Okay. We've got 2 Rumbles to go through. We are going to get to as many of your chats as we can. So if you've got something you want to interact with us, we can't promise to get to all of them, but we will get to as many.
Is that what you pick up after to get stool sand? No, that's scat. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. And we're going to be in the chat. Don't forget we have the super chat. So if you want to make sure we get to yours, go ahead and do that. I think Road Dogg can buy a new T-shirt if you get that. He can buy a shirt for himself.
Yes, one. You don't see this thing? This is Jordan. I don't even know what that says.
It's looking good. Does that say Jordan? Zinger. It looks like
Zion. I bet it says Zion. He's got some.
Oh, is it Zion? Zion Williams? Now look at you.
Yeah, sorry.
With the workout gear.
My bad. My bad.
Let's get to a couple of these quick ones. We'll get to Zol Lopez, Road Dogg. How long would it take for you to run down that ramp?
I'd still be walking. I can tell you that much. And they'd have to give me oxygen halfway down and maybe ice my knees. That's just a shoot answer. I appreciate.
I love that. One, I was so excited that Pat McAfee was back. He made his return on commentary, and I love that he got to the table and goes, little blown up. And just the throwaway of, that was a long way to get here. Yeah. A lot of adrenaline had to be going through his veins. And
it was awesome, and he was incredible. Just to listen to him, it sounded like he had a really good time, so it made me have a really good time too. And look, if anybody can go nose to nose and toes to toes with him verbally, it's daggum Corey. Corey Graves is good at what he does, man. And again, like it or not, he's really good at his job. To me, that's a dream team right there with Cole and Cole even adds good color, but Cole directing traffic and those two on each side of you, holy mackerel, man. That's a 3-man booth of entertainment right there.
McAfee giving Cole some grief, and him and Corey's going to jab, but I love it. It was it was fun to have them back. And then once they were back, we started off with the 30-man Royal Rumble match. Very interesting, Dogg, to start the entire Premium Live event off with the Men's Rumble match.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird at first, and then when I watched it and saw the rest of the show, I went, it's kind of the only place it could have went.
So that's what, look, you're going to always have differing opinions on a show order. You're always going to have that. But when I saw that, and look, I'm telling you, I didn't look at emails. I watched the show. I wanted to sit, and I watched it with my youngest daughter and her boyfriend who wanted to watch the show, and they were going to watch it upstairs. And I said, come downstairs, let's all watch it together, and let's experience this. I knew it was going to be a good one. I knew that. I knew the matches like we all did, but I sat down, man, and when he came out first. Who was it? Gunther, I believe.
Gunther
came out first, and we're here, the first member of them. I thought, holy mackerel, we're getting that right now. Look, I'm a fan of that. If you go to WWE live events, you'll see a big match kick it off, because I'm a fan of. It's just like public speaking, right? I want to get your attention. I have something up front that's an attention grabber, and I whatever, you know what I mean. I throw a grenade in the back of the room, whatever. I get your attention, and then but so to me, that's the same. You grab them up front, man, and I don't know. You can argue about the order, like I said, all day and all night, but I loved where they went. I loved what they had, and I loved what they went with.
Let's get to it. Let's first go to Jeremy Priest, who bought a super chat. We appreciate you, Jeremy. Thank you, man. He said, how great was Gunther?
Good night, Irene.
Tied with Cody for most eliminations. Of course, he's at the first spot. He lasts longer than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a moment for Gunther to remember forever.
Well, not only remember forever, but if you did not know who he was, which I think there's an argument to be made that the Royal Rumble, maybe this one especially, with a lot of talk going into it about who's going to be there, who's going to win, hot stories going in. Look, I think this was what was the question again? I'm sorry, I got a text.
How good it is.
Yeah.
He's got this moment forever.
There were eyes on this pay-per-view. That's where I was going. That are not on every week, and so this may be an introduction to Gunther for a lot of eyeballs, a lot of potential fans, a lot of lapsed fans, a lot of future fans. But he has cemented himself as a great worker, a great promo, a great psychologist as far as the industry goes. Like, if everybody already knew it, who already knew it, but some new eyeballs were opened to Gunther and his potential this past weekend. And man, you needed him. You needed him in there. And you can argue, and I saw it argued and debated which way they should have gone on the finish, but they went that way, and it worked, and 100% it worked. And Cody survived the big bad guy who's been in here the whole time. You know what I mean? And then he chopped him bloody, and then he beat him. You know what I mean? And then he beat the big guy. So I don't know. I love the way they did it. You can again debate all day long.
Man,
I just read something in the other chat that popped me. Sorry about that.
I looked at, I was watching it with Conrad Thompson, our buddy, and,
Yep.
The longer Gunther stayed, we would still just, one of us would look over every now and then and go, by the way, Gunther's still in there.
Yeah,
Like, it was just like,
yeah,
and it's believable. Like, man, my man's in
100%.
here.
Yeah,
he looked
100%.
tired.
But he looked like he'd been in there for an hour and something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I don't care what kind of shape you're in, cardiovascularly, you can run 5 miles every day. You can do all that. Get in there and work with all them guys, knowing, oh, he's the big snug one. So everybody who comes in there is laying their stuff into you, and he survived an hour of that. You know what I mean? And those are little dynamics people don't think about. Look, if I'm getting in the ring with Sheamus or Gunther now as the new guy, you bring your A game and you bring it hard because they're bringing theirs that way. So you may as well get your knocks in. You know what I mean?
Before we get on deeper into the Rumble, a shout out to Mark Cafe Brown, who hit us with the super chat. Road Dogg, just want to say how much I appreciate you.
Oh my God, I appreciate you, and you make me hungry just by the name, like the cafe, like Cafe Brown. It's fancy, but it also has brown gravy and white gravy.
Oh,
and
doesn't it sound like a great wrestling name?
Tomato
Cafe
gravy.
Brown?
Cafe Brown.
That'd be a great wrestling name.
It's a joke. I always do say, "Hey, cafe now, cafe," like kayfabe. Yeah, thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate you and that beard. Holy
I was about to
mackerel.
say, looking at the thumbnail, my man's got
If you braid that and put those candles in there and light them like Yellowbeard. Yeah, Yellowbeard was here. How do you know it was Yellowbeard? Because he smelt about 47. Anyway,
that's some
So
serious
that
chin lettuce right there, brother.
Yeah. He's got the whole
thing.
He got the whole deal. He might be on Duck Dynasty. I'm sorry,
also,
I stuttered when I said.
You did. That was a bunch
I
of
might
ducks.
be on Duck Dynasty.
That was a bunch of ducks.
Yeah.
The Pondwater Dave show, our buddy Pondwater Dave.
Oh, Pondwater,
he said,
super ref.
How is Logan Paul that good in such a short period of time?
He says, "Hey, he's
incredible."
I'll tell you what, he is incredible. But I tell you what, he is more than anything that I learned just over the past month was how committed and dedicated he is when he sets his mind to something. Like he's that good because. For one, he got to train with look, I don't know. You got to be incredibly athletic to do the things he did, to do the things he has done in our industry. And now he's, God knows what he's going to do next. But that was incredible. So, yeah, he's very committed to it, and he tries really hard. Look, I was going to say earlier, he got to train and goes out to Brian Kendrick's school in L.A., and they train, and they get – so he's been trained by some good talent that knows what they're doing, but he's also an incredible athlete. And so, I think it's still safe to say not everybody can do this. He is an exception to the rule. You know what I mean? You're not going to get a whole bunch of guys. You might get a handful, but again, a handful of really elite athletes already we're talking about. And so then he adds this to his repertoire and resume and any other French word that I could throw in.
Of course, they get a huge spot. He gets a huge spot with Ricochet where they do the double clothesline.
Dude, that's what it sounded like when their meat hit, when their flesh connected. Well, I'm trying to make it nasty. It was awesome, though. Like it was incredible. Like the look, and I watched the one back where Cody and the other guy did it, whose name I will not mention, punks. But they flew and hit each other in a elimination chamber one time.
It wasn't as good.
But no, heck no, it wasn't as good. And it was good, don't get me wrong, and it was awesome when they did it. But these cats flew. You know what I mean? These cats actually.
And perfect.
I think Punk and Kofi did it a little smarter than the other two, but there was a reason it didn't look that as good too. Incredible.
I don't know if you know this, but I'll ask. Roberto Sanchez hit us up in the chat and said, you know who thought of that spot with Ricochet and Logan Paul?
I do not. Yeah. Look, I could imagine it was Ricochet, but that's just me speculating. There's a lot of speculation going on with this Royal Rumble strategery. Did you hear him talking about strategery a lot? Like that's an old Bush faux pas from literally 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they went into that, and I thought, well, that's timely, but I get it, so I'm with you, but I'm 50. I don't know who else gets it.
Mel Perry asked a couple things. One, what was your favorite moment? That probably had to be you holding on to the ropes, right? Do you have a favorite?
No, not a favorite memory. Rumble as a talent. Yeah, that one was it. And you know what? And again, I'll tell the story. It was not. It didn't start out that way. I was angry because we had to work twice, so I just thought I'm going to hold on and be. But it turned into something over time that I'm actually proud of now. But I feel like I have to tell the story because it's not me being creative and smart. It's me being a spoiled brat jackass and holding on to the bottom rope because I was angry because I didn't want to work twice.
It was an awesome spot. Just relish in it, sir.
Okay. I'll take
hindsight, you thought of it, whether it was out of spite or not. You thought of the spot.
I am a genius.
Was there a surprise for you at this year's Rumble? Mel Perry already asked as well.
Well, look, I honestly, again, I didn't know who was winning either of the Rumble matches, and wasn't there at the rehearsal or when they tried out the lighting stuff for the Bray Wyatt thing. I loved the Bray Wyatt thing. It was visually different, and I don't know, I just thought it was awesome.
Let's get into it. Bray Wyatt, of course, defeated LA Knight by pinfall in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. First of all, I'm going to say I'm on the train for LA Knight.
Yep.
I love that character. I love what he's doing with it. Love to see it go and advance and see what he does with it. I tweeted it during the Royal Rumble. I hope this is Bray Wyatt's gimmick from now on. I'll take all the neon black light deals. It looked amazing. It was something we've never seen before. That was how cool a pitch black match was. That's why it was the first ever. And I was all in on it. What was your thoughts?
Well, look, of course I was all in on it because Mountain Dew sponsored it. Like, that's a blue chip sponsor. You know what I mean? They also Applebee's with the sponsor of
sponsorship
of the count
200%.
Yeah, the countdown clock. So I'm talking about was it cool to have that match and see that? You dang right. It was different. It was awesome. It was creativity. It was using all your resources and putting this different presentation together. On top of that, it was sponsored by this brand new drink out by, you know what I mean? Out by Mountain Dew. I couldn't have been happier with how it was executed or how it turned out. Like, it was just really different, and I really liked it.
Next up, Bianca Belair defeated Alexa Bliss in their singles match for the Raw Women's Championship in 7 minutes. Thought this was a pretty good match as well.
Look, I loved it, and it was the only one that I kind of wondered about going in, just because was there enough time spent with the story? Not really questioning that, but are these the Rumbles are what they are, you know what I mean? And they overshadow a lot of story just with the way they're built. And the other story is the Sammy and the bloodline and all that. So this match was one I was concerned about going in. Man, I couldn't have been happier seeing the match. Those two guys executed, or those two women executed. Excuse me. It was awesome. Like, I loved it too, and it was perfectly placed in the show. I thought, like, I don't know, man. I sing their praises because I know how hard they work all year round, and they're telling great stories right now, man. And it's fun to watch, and it's fun to be a fan, and it's. Let's listen to Lindsay here.
Plus, Lindsay wants to know how much fun was the ending for that Women's Royal Rumble. Of course, Rhea Ripley won by eliminating Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Rhea also in the #1 spot, and you thought, well, they just did it with Gunther. No way she's going to last. And not only does she last, she wins the dang thing from the #1 spot.
And dang, what a performance by her.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? Look, she's in incredible shape. She's on top of her game. She's a young woman. And to me, the sky's the limit with her. Like, again, I would love to see her and Zoe Stark, or her. And you saw Zoe, that I always talk about from NXT, show up in the Women's Rumble. And she had a heck of a showing in my mind. She always impressed me. Yeah, look, it was fun to watch how it went down. I loved Asuka's new makeup. I loved everything about it.
Great.
So yeah, great question, Lindsay. Thank you. And
Thank you, Lindsay.
I
We
still
appreciate
haven't
it.
had my cupcakes. But,
no.
I mean, it doesn't. You know what? I probably don't need them, Lindsay. Let's just say that. What are you calling me, fat, Lindsay? That's what you're doing now? No, that was me.
Man, when you got down to the final four of that women's Royal Rumble, you went,
man.
well, this is who's supposed to be here.
Right, and I'm not mad at anybody winning.
No.
You know what I mean? I thought about it. I know everybody wanted their person to win. In the men's, it was Sammy or Cody or We Riot or whatever. So I don't know where all the Sammy people that wanted to riot went. But I guess they just waited to see Sammy for later. But I thought it was, well executed. I thought the show flowed well. If you spent money to watch it, you earn money well spent.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Mark Brown reminded us the Michelle McCool spot where she comes out of the crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Was super fun.
Yeah, that was really fun, too. She was like, what, me?
Yeah, it was super fun.
I
They
thought
used
that's
her earlier.
great.
They did the crowd shot on her
Yeah.
to sell it, which I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's cool. She's there. It's Texas. We get it. And then it's like, oh, that was perfect.
Look, I loved all the creative decisions that were made. The Ray not coming out, Dom coming out with his hood. Like, I thought all that stuff was little cool beats that, you do this 52 weeks a year, and you do a lot of these.
Look at that.
Look at that. Lindsay said I was perfect the way God made me. Yeah, but I prayed the other night, and at the end I said amen, and he was like, get off your knees, fat ass. And I was like, whoa, God. It turned out it was my dad's ghost. I'm just kidding.
You're going to say your wife was behind you trying to get in the bed.
I should have. I went with the macabre and disgusting.
I liked it. No, I liked it. By the way, we didn't mention it. Can you confirm or deny that Uncle Howdy is Shane McMahon? That elbow drop was awesome from Shane O'Mac. I mean, Uncle Howdy. We'll just get that.
It's. You remember Champagne?
Champagne.
That's who it is.
Okay. No, we didn't see that coming, did we? No. Andrew Medina
you never
says,
will either.
Andrew Medina said, Dog, how come you didn't make a surprise return to the Rumble? Text screen, game over.
Oh, yeah, because I'm old. that's
You didn't fight the Imperium when you had them outnumbered, much less joining the Rumble.
No, there was 10 times more people in there than Emporium. Imperium.
Emporium.
Yeah.
Let's get to the main event. Let's get to the main event.
Go ahead with it. We got to give these people time to break and use the restroom before Monday Night Raw comes on.
Roman Reigns, of course, he's escorted by Heyman and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
He defeats Kevin Owens by pinfall, 19 minutes, 15 seconds.
Great match, too, man. They had a great match. Yeah. People talk about, I don't know. I just always the haters, you know what I mean? But it's like, dang, I don't know what y'all are watching because that was impressive.
And then, look, we've all heard some pops and we're all living in the moment. One of the loudest pops I've ever heard, especially recently, when Sammy hits him with a chair, and we finally get the turn.
Hey, and I'll tell you why.
That place was electric.
I'll tell you why the difference is they didn't pop for the chair shot. They popped because everybody's involved, and like my point is the force of the chair shot. Who gave a crap?
Yeah, no,
it was about oh my God, this is the culmination of this story that each and every one of us is deeply invested in. And so that pop was real. Yeah. That pop was the kind you heard when glass broke. When you're standing in the rain and gong, you know what I mean? Those kind of pops you feel sometimes. Because everybody was invested in them. That's what that sounded like to me, and that sounds like the future is so bright in the WWE. We might all have to wear shiz aids.
Look, people are going to take away from it. I've saw people sitting in the moment. I was, like I said, watching it with Conrad. We both looked and said, well, I don't remember one better than this in a long time.
No,
I mean,
it just
we can start sitting down and trying to match them up, but that was a damn good premium live event.
It felt right. And you know what the truth of it is? Why sit down and try to match it up? You go, I don't remember one
recently.
in a
so I'm
while
having fun.
that's got me like that, had me like that, and I don't either. You know what I mean? And so I don't know.
So
Happier.
many roads they can take during this
yeah.
road to WrestleMania now. We've got Cody in the mix. What does Sammy do with the bloodline now? There's so many ways they can go now. It's really going to be fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and you know, JR used to say business is picking up, and he wasn't lying then, and if he said it now, he ain't lying now. It's picking up, and it's, I don't know, man, it's fun again, and I'm down like a lizard drinking. I'm down like 4 flat tires.
Down like a lizard drinking. Johan Pena said, and I agree with him, now I can't wait for Montreal next month. Going to be fun to see how we get there, man.
And I just saw online people fussing about which matches for what or whatever. Man, I don't know. Everything's so good right now. I'd say give it a chance. You might be surprised. You might accidentally have a good time.
Well, look, we appreciate everybody joining us. We are going to let you get to Raw because this is going to be fun. There's going to be some promos. Look, drinking game. How many times Cody Rhodes cries tonight? Go ahead and get that liquor ready. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. He's going to be emotional. Can't wait to see it. Yeah. We appreciate y'all.
This is his dream.
Yes.
From a small child, and this is very, I mean, it's real because it's really been his dream from a child, just like it was Shawn Michaels' dream from a child, just like it was so this is his moment. I hope he appreciates it, man, because I sure appreciate him right now. I appreciate being able to watch it.
Well, Joe Cronin said showing the love right before we got out of here.
Look
we
at here.
Appreciate you, Joe Cronin.
Wow, Joe Cronin showing the love. Joe Cronin is a friend of mine. He does a lot of voice work and he's a good guy. He's a good dude. Good friend of mine.
Look, he got a cool logo. He's rocking and rolling, man.
JC, Joe Cronin actually introduced me to JD from NY, and they're both kind of cut of the same ilk, kind of huge wrestling fans. Got a edgy way to present it, but I love their style, and I love both of those guys, especially you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for everybody that participated in the Super Chat, plus Lindsay. Priest was there. We appreciate you. Mark Cafe Brown, of course. We're going to try to do these once a week, the YTX YouTube exclusive. Follow us on all our socials, at You Didn't Know Pod. He's at Brian R.D. James. I'm at The Casio Kid. Enjoy it.
Enjoy Monday Night Raw. I can't wait for the fallout.
Can't wait to see what happens. We've got a great episode coming up. Ad-free shows. You'll get that early coming up in the next couple of days. And then we've got a new episode dropping. And we're going to announce our next special guest we're going to have on the pod. We've got an interview coming up.
We've got a couple of them coming up.
We'll
just take one step at a time there.
Yes, we will. Enjoy Raw tonight, everybody. We appreciate everybody interacting with us. This is why we do it. We get to talk to y'all and interact with y'all, and that's why we do this together. Road Dogg, if they didn't have fun tonight, I don't know what to tell them. Do you?
I guess I would just ask them to sit down and say, like, if you didn't like tonight, like, I guess I just got 2 words for you. Suck it.